This act helped reduce the scare of prostate cancer. They warned you. They said too much of it would damage your organs, that it could cause inflammation, that it might even lead to cancer. And so, for years, you were made to feel ashamed of something that came naturally. Like every time you gave in to that urge, you were somehow hurting yourself. Slowly, silently, and permanently. They never gave you clarity, just fear, just guilt. But what if everything they told you was wrong? What if the very thing they said would destroy you could actually save your life? What if science had quietly uncovered something completely different, something powerful, something hidden beneath decades of taboo? Because here's the truth. A team of researchers tracked men for over 20 years, thousands of data points, a long, patient, and quiet search for answers. And what they found was shocking, even liberating. This isn't clickbait. It's not conspiracy. It's real science. And the results? They reveal something happening inside your body every time you do it. Especially to a part of you that most men never think about until it's too late. So if you've ever felt guilty, if you've ever wondered if it's too much, or if you've ever questioned what really happens when you masturbate every day, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you might see that the thing they told you to hide could actually be the thing that protects your future. The fear. Let's face it, this topic is surrounded by whispers, judgment, and shame. For decades, men were told that frequent masturbation could wear you out from the inside, cause internal inflammation, increase your risk of cancer in a place you really don't want it. These warnings weren't shouted in the open. They were passed in hushed tones, from locker rooms to late-night forums, behind closed doors and under the weight of embarrassment. You didn't dare ask your doctor. You just wondered in silence. And the fear? It's understandable. Because when a certain part of your body is known as the most common site for cancer in men, you start to question everything you've been doing to it. So researchers, armed with better tools, deeper science, and 2 decades of long-term data, decided to find out. They tracked over 1,800 men for more than 20 years, not for a few months, not for a short survey, but for decades. They monitored lifestyle, health outcomes, and one very specific behavior that no one wants to admit they do, even though almost every man does. And what they found? It defied everything we were told. You see, instead of confirming the fear, they uncovered a surprising benefit. A behavior that society tried to shame might actually help protect you. In fact, the men who engaged in it the most frequently had significantly lower risk of serious illness in that hidden part of the body. Yes, the very thing that was labeled sinful, unhealthy, or dangerous might be your body's natural way of maintaining itself, flushing out harmful waste, and promoting healthy cell renewal. But here's the twist. They didn't just find a benefit. They found a pattern, one that could help millions of men take control of their long-term health. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's biology. If you're still watching, you already know this is a conversation men need to hear. So pause for a second, like this video, share it with a friend, and hit subscribe, because these are the real health truths no one is talking about. Now, let's talk about the part of your body that's been quietly at the center of this entire conversation. It's small, about the size of a walnut, and it sits just below your bladder. It's responsible for producing most of the fluid in your semen. It's deeply connected to your sexual function and to your aging process. And for millions of men, it becomes a silent battlefield later in life. It's called your prostate. And according to a groundbreaking study published in European Urology, men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had up to a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer than men who did so less frequently. Why? because regular ejaculation helps flush out toxins, clear old cells, and reduce inflammation in the gland. It supports healthy cellular turnover and helps keep the environment inside your body clean and stable. This is called the prostate stagnation hypothesis, and it just might explain why a taboo habit can lead to a life-saving benefit. So maybe it's time we change the conversation, from shame to science, from silence to survival. Because the truth is, sometimes taking care of yourself doesn't look like what society tells you. Sometimes, it's as simple as understanding your body and trusting what science now confirms. If this video made you think twice, if it challenged what you thought you knew, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, like it, and make sure you're subscribed, because men's health deserves to be talked about, out loud. The landmark study that changed everything. In a landmark study published by European Urology, researchers uncovered something that flipped the script on everything men were taught to fear. They investigated the possible connection between how often men ejaculate and their risk of developing prostate cancer. And what they found wasn't subtle, it was stunning. Men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had up to a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated less frequently. That's not just a minor difference. That's a significant drop in risk. Let that sink in. More ejaculation, less cancer. And no, this isn't a blog post or bro science passed around on Reddit. This is peer-reviewed research, led by experts in urology, conducted over decades, and published in one of the most respected medical journals in the field. It's science. Verified, tested, and repeatable. So when we talk about the potential health benefits of ejaculation, we're not talking theory anymore. We're talking evidence. The leading theory, the prostate stagnation hypothesis. So how does this actually work? What's the science behind it? Enter the prostate stagnation hypothesis, a theory that is gaining ground among scientists and medical professionals. The idea is simple, but powerful. Your prostate acts like a fluid management system, producing a large portion of the fluid that makes up semen. Now imagine that fluid sitting idle for long periods. Over time, without regular release, the fluid can accumulate old cells, waste materials, and toxins that have nowhere to go. In the same way that standing water becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, a stagnant prostate environment becomes more vulnerable to inflammation and cellular damage. That's where ejaculation comes in. Regular ejaculation, through sex or masturbation, helps flush the pipes, keeping the prostate clean, reducing buildup, and minimizing the risk of harmful mutations developing over time. This flushing process keeps the internal environment of the prostate circulating, fresh, and less prone to stress that can trigger cancerous changes. It's your body's natural form of detox, and one of the easiest, most instinctive habits you can maintain. It's about cellular turnover, keeping the prostate young. But the benefits don't stop there. Scientists also highlight the role of healthy cellular turnover in this process. Every organ in your body relies on the timely removal of old, damaged cells to make space for healthy new ones. The prostate is no different. Regular ejaculation supports this renewal cycle, ensuring that aging or malfunctioning cells don't hang around long enough to mutate or become cancerous. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. If you skip it, the engine starts to wear down. But if you maintain it regularly, everything runs smoothly, efficiently, and longer. That's what ejaculation does for your internal system. It's not indulgence, it's maintenance. And just like a well-serviced machine, your body thanks you with better long-term performance and fewer complications down the road. What the experts are saying. This isn't speculation. The scientific community has taken notice. Dr. Michael Leitzman, one of the lead researchers in the groundbreaking ejaculation study, said it clearly. Our findings suggest that ejaculation frequency is not harmful. In fact, it may be protective of prostate health. Other health professionals echo this sentiment. The consensus is building that regular sexual activity, including masturbation, may be a natural, accessible tool for men to reduce their risk of serious illness. And here's the thing. It's not about addiction. It's not about obsession. It's not about shame. It's about understanding your body, listening to the science, and taking charge of your health in a way that aligns with who you are as a man. This is not just about pleasure. This is about prevention. Why this matters for real men. Let's bring this home with a real story. David was 50. He exercised regularly, ate a clean diet, didn't smoke, and lived what many would call a textbook healthy life. But during a routine checkup, his doctor felt something unusual. After a few tests, David was diagnosed with early-stage prostate cancer. His response was heartbreaking. I thought I was doing everything right. I exercised, I ate clean. But I never realized how important something as personal and private as sexual health could be to preventing disease. Fortunately, David caught it early and recovered. But not every man gets that second chance. That's why he now shares his story, because he wishes someone had told him sooner. He wishes someone had said, yes, this topic is awkward, but your life may depend on it. The truth is, no man should have to suffer from what he could have prevented, if only he knew. Let's crush the myths once and for all, not with opinions, but with real science. Frequent masturbation wears out your prostate. Fact. There's no tangible evidence that supports this claim. In fact, the data suggests the opposite, that frequent ejaculation may actually help preserve your prostate's health by clearing out old cells and keeping the system refreshed and balanced. Masturbation leads to inflammation. Fact. Chronic inflammation is often linked to stagnation. And when it comes to the prostate, regular ejaculation helps prevent that. By flushing out toxins and old cellular debris, ejaculation may actually reduce inflammation and lower the biological stress placed on the gland over time. Masturbation causes prostate cancer. Fact. This is one of the most dangerous and misleading claims. Multiple studies, including a 20-year study of over 1,800 men, show that men who ejaculate more frequently have a significantly reduced risk of developing prostate cancer, with reductions as high as 33%. So why are these myths still alive? Because silence breeds confusion. Because men are still being shamed into secrecy. And because no one taught us that taking care of this part of our body is just as important as eating right, exercising, or going to therapy. So the next time someone mocks you, guilt trips you, or tries to scare you with outdated myths about your body, look them in the eye and say, science doesn't just forgive masturbation, it might actually recommend it. You are not broken. You are not dirty. You are not doing something wrong. You're human. And if the science is right, you might just be doing something that's good for your future self. We need to stop punishing men for listening to their bodies. We need to stop wrapping natural biology in shame. And we need to start having honest conversations about health, not just when it's convenient, but when it really matters. If this video shocked you, if it made you question what you thought you knew, if it gave you new information you've never heard before, don't keep it to yourself. This isn't just about you. It's about every brother, son, father, and friend who still believes the lies. So do this now. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. Because these are the truths that could save lives, and the more we speak up, the more we change the narrative. Let's end the shame. Let's start talking. Because your health is too important to stay silent.